Meantime, California's second largest pension fund is billions of dollars short, and it will run out of money unless changes are made. The future of California's teacher retirement fund is at risk for more than 800,000 people. KCRA3's Mike Lurie shows us tonight why some teachers are really stunned by this news.
Write down the fraction.
Paul Sheely teaches 5th grade at Russell Ranch Elementary School in Folsom. For 11 years, he's been contributing 8% of every paycheck for his retirement, only to learn today the CalSTRS pension fund is billions of dollars in the hole.
Then to hear, oh, it could be 70 billion short is very scary.
That's right, $70 billion in unfunded liabilities, meaning CalSTRS must pay out much more in future benefits than it has. Pension fund assets will be depleted by 2044, the Legislative Analyst Office says, and it will take an additional $4.5 billion a year for 30 years, much of it from teachers, to make up the difference.
To find out that it could be completely gone a couple years into retirement, definitely be worrisome to them.
Critics say the California State teacher retirement system failed to respond quickly to the problem.
They should have been reacting much sooner when they knew they were in trouble. We've been warned of this by actuaries for many, many years.
CalSTRS officials admit the fund was hurt by weak investment results, but say they have a fix for the future.
The best fix is to adjust contributions. They haven't. The contributions paid by employers have not changed since 1990.
That means school districts, teachers, and ultimately taxpayers will have to pay billions more to keep the retirement fund afloat.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Laster, and I'm a nationally recognized financial literacy expert with a book on Amazon.com. Okay? Now, my job is to give you some valuable content that can actually save you thousands. It can prevent your nest egg from turning into a rotten egg. Whether you do business with me or someone else, you deserve to know because you work very hard for your paycheck. And I'm very passionate about helping spread this valuable information, and I love what I do because I reveal the blind spots that Wall Street has been hiding for decades. Now, the more that you watch this video, the more you'll be wondering, am I really prepared for retirement? Also, there are 7 specific questions the banks and Wall Street do not want you to know. I'm going to give you the top 3 in this presentation today. So let's get started. Now, in my book, my financial literacy book, I have a section called the iceberg concept. And the way this works is like this. There's 3 types of information in the world in regards to retirement. The first is information you know that you know. So, for example, you know how to drive a car. Okay. Second is information you don't know. So you don't know how to fly a plane unless you have a flight license. Okay, pilot license. But the third is this. Information you don't know. So, for example, you see this iceberg, 90% of it is under the water. Okay, if you're on the boat, you don't even realize that it's there. Well, when you are driving on the freeway, okay, there's a car in your blind spot. You get over, what happens? You cause an accident, and it's going to cost you money, bottom line. Well, when you get to retirement, ladies and gentlemen, and there's some things that you do not know, guess what? It's going to cost you money. Okay, there's too many Americans retiring and coming back to work. I'm sure you know of some stories of some people you know at work that have retired, ran out of money, and came back to work. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be us. Don't be a statistic. Okay. So let's look at some statistics. Only 48% of U.S. workers have tried to determine how much they will need to save for a comfortable retirement. Basically, being able to pay their bills without stress.
So, time for a reality check. More than 50% of working adults over 50 believe they may have to delay their retirement. And then 16% expect to never to stop working. Okay. I work with a gentleman. He went to a retirement party about 25 years ago, and the person who was retiring, he was bragging he was set for life. He thought he was set for life. Well, he had $300,000 in the bank. His house was paid off, and he was completely debt free. Well, fast forward, this same gentleman had to find a part-time job because he started to run out of money. Okay. So factors that impact your lifestyle in retirement. First is market risk, rising taxes, health issues, inflation, and then you got your CalSTRS, CalPERS pension. Only have time to do CalSTRS today. Okay. So what's the average pension payout? With CalSTRS, your defined benefit payout is about half your income. It's roughly about $3,500 per month. Okay, not the life of luxury. Then California Educators, CTA's guide, basically also says that your CalSTRS pension is not enough. All right, so got 2 third-party endorsements saying the same thing. So how do you determine your CalSTRS pension? You take your age in years of service on the CalSTRS, age factor, and then your final average compensation. So let's take Jane. She's 26 when she starts teaching. She wants to retire age 57. Okay, a little early, but that's 31 years of service. Okay, it's a lot of years. Her age factor at 57 is 1.84. Okay, you multiply 31 years of service times 1.84, her age factor, gives her 57% payout factor. So let's look at some hard numbers. Her highest 1-year salary will be $72,000. Times it by 57%, that's $41,000 per year. You divide it by 12, that's $3,420 per month. Excuse me. Now, is that adequate to live off today? What about in 15, 20 years? Okay, well, what you might not realize is CalSTRS is taxable income. It comes out pre-tax. So if you're not taxed now, they're going to tax you later. So that leaves you with about $2,400 a month after 31 years of service. Basically, Jane cannot retire at age 57. Okay, what age should you retire is the question for you. Now, that's going to leave a big income gap.
So let's look at some facts of life. If you tracked 100 Americans from age 25 to 65, 36 of them will be dead. 54 dead broke, 5 will still be working, 4 financially secure, and then 1 financial independent. Now, in this equation, most people would want to be top 1 or at least the top 5. Well, in order to be the top 5% of Americans, would you agree you have to be doing something different than everybody else, right? Okay. Well, look at the circle underneath this graph. Where do you think the bulk of your money goes? Mortgages? Rent? No, it's taxes. Okay. What the top 5% of Americans know to do is this: use legal IRS tax loopholes to minimize their tax debt and pour it more into the green area, savings and investments. By the way, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, you know those guys, right? They pay less than 20% in income tax, okay? Because they know some information that most Americans don't. So, 2 ways that most Americans put their money or save their money: fixed or variable. Now, a variable is like a mutual fund, stocks and bonds. You can make 20-30%, but you can also lose that overnight, just like 2008. So that's a risk of principal. So that's going to leave a big income gap. So let's talk about taxes. Now, this is the most important slide on the whole presentation. If you miss this, you miss everything. So let's pay close attention. All right. So there's 2 ways to save for your future. There's tax deferred and there's tax free. Now, way tax deferred works: you pay no taxes now, let your money grow for the next 20 years. Then when you access it, all of it is taxable. Or the other option, you pay taxes now while your salary is low. Then when you retire 20, 30 years later, after your salary has increased, you pay no more taxes on your retirement. How about that? So 100% tax free at access. So this is the old way, and this is the new way. Interesting. Something to think about. So why wait to pay taxes on higher income later when you can pay taxes on lower income now for your retirement? Because you will have salary increases, right? All right. Now let's put it into a story. Say, for instance, I'm a farmer. I have a bucket of seed. And right before I plant my seed, the tax man shows up. And he says, "David, you need to pay tax on your seed." Well, I can't afford to pay tax now. Can he come back at harvest time and then tax me then? So I'm thinking he's doing me a great big favor. So what I do, I take my seed and I plant it. I let it grow and grow and grow and grow. And then 9 months later, guess who shows up? The tax man. Okay. And now he's smiling ear to ear. And I just realized he really didn't do me a favor, because now he's going to tax me on my entire harvest. See all that green out there? Okay. Well, when you pay tax on the harvest, it's just like having a tax deferred 401k, a tax deferred IRA, a tax deferred 403b, a tax deferred 457, where the government says, don't worry about paying your taxes now. We'll get you into retirement when you need your money the most. Well, guess what? Your house is probably paid off, your children are grown, and you're not contributing to retirement anymore. So more than likely, those taxes are really going to eat you up in retirement. Just ask your mother or your father this is some homework. Ask your mother or father if they are paying the same amount or more in taxes while in retirement, if they're retired, or ask somebody in retirement. Okay. So question number 2, will I be taxed on the money as ordinary income when I withdraw it for retirement? Okay. Call up your company, ask them this question. Had a little error right there. That's okay. Now let's talk about health. Unexpected medical expenses cause 62% of all bankruptcies, 49% of all foreclosures, and 75% of the above had health insurance. So Kaiser and Blue Cross. Research shows at least 70% of people over 65 will need long-term care services at some point in their lifetime. So how big are your income gaps? Okay. Now, there's a right way and there's a wrong way to fill those income gaps. Some people might have a pension. Now, a pension is not going to pay your full paycheck, okay, which is going to leave a gap. Let me go on to the next slide. Let's look at this, your piece of the pie. Say, for instance, your pension is going to pay you like 50, 55%, 60%, okay? Right now, you're living off 100% of your income, but when you retire, you're going to be making less. So that's going to leave an income gap, big pay cut. So what a lot of people do to fill that income gap is they do an IRA or 401k or something like that. Well, unfortunately, those are decreasing assets. Eventually, you're going to start running out of money, as I said earlier. Okay, what we can do is show you how to fill that income gap by getting a lifetime income stream, which is basically a second pension. And if you qualify, you can get the money out completely tax-free. So let's see what others have said about my services and valuable information. Now, Elder and Sister Mitchell, I met with them at the beginning of this year. They said, I would give it a 10 on the enlightenment on what I learned and discovered a new vista in retirement. Cheryl Johnston, she also would give it a 10. Very informative and helpful. Glenda Arellano, she said, I felt very comfortable. I learned a lot and I didn't feel pressured. And one more testimonial, a video testimonial from Nancy Lemus.
Hello, my name is Nancy Lemus and I am a teacher at CalSTRS Elementary School. I have been working with David Bester and he has been helping me fill the income gap for my retirement. He has also been able to help me with other policies and how to make sure that I'm managing them correctly. And he has made me feel more comfortable and more wise about the decisions that I'm making as far as what needs to happen for when I retire.
Okay, great. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the information that I gave you?
I would give it a 10 because not only did you help me sort out some other issues that I had, you were very informative, and you also set me up on a really good policy that's leading me in the best direction at this moment and for my future.
All right, thank you, Rich.